this is the Russian Zenit IR-2, which I assume was made by the Russian Zenit camera brand, but don't quote me on that. Mine was made in 2000, at least according to the description of the seller, which is why it was only $45 plus shipping and handling, and it runs off of 2 AA batteries, and it has an infrared light built in. So I got this online a little bit ago, and so far it has worked well as an entry-level monocular into the night vision world. But there are some things to get used to. The first thing to get used to is that it doesn't necessarily work like a phone or your eyes. It doesn't work like a phone camera. And what I mean by that is that the monocular works like binoculars or scope, in the sense that you can't see things close to you without adjusting the range, and even then it still might not work for you. And you might not even be able to see things a few feet away from you without the object you are trying to see becoming very blurry, or maybe even like so blurred beyond belief that you just can't identify whatever it is you're looking at. And second, being the monocular also doesn't work like a scope or binocular in terms of range. Like, you know how you can change a scope to be like 1 to 6 power, and you can see like at a certain range if you're on 6 power or like 1 power. And the binocular, or the monocular, the night vision, doesn't really do that. It kind of only works at a certain range. It works best if you're like across a room. But then once you start getting within like 3 feet of an object, that's when it kind of just doesn't work. Then it gets very blurry. And second, being the monocular also doesn't work like a scope or binocular in terms of range. Like, you know how you can change a scope to be like 1 to 6 power, and you can see like at a certain range if you're on 6 power or like 1 power. And the binocular, or the monocular, the night vision, doesn't really do that. It kind of only works at a certain range. It works best if you're like across a room. But then once you start getting within like 3 feet of an object, that's when it kind of just doesn't work. Then it gets very blurry. Okay, so on my Zenit IR-2, there's this little pad and these little retainers that keeps the strap on. You put your hand in it like that, and then there's 2 buttons. That one you have to hold down to turn on the night vision, and that stays on as long as you hold the button down. And then the second button is like this infrared light in the side, and that works for like a few feet, or if you need extra light. But this thing also amplifies any light that's already available. So if you were like out in the woods and it was getting dark, but there was still light outside, like if it was sunset and there's still light creeping through the trees, it would pick up that light and use that and amplify it before you had to completely rely on infrared light. and it has the lens. In the front it has this little lens cap which has these two little push things, and you push them closed. You push them down, and that closes these little spring things that keep the lens cap to the lens. And it has this thing on it which says 3, and then it goes to infinity symbol. I don't know what that does. And it has this little point for like a tripod, and it's powered by 2 AA batteries. And it's pretty good from distances that aren't like across a house. You can see stuff pretty clear, but it also has a very small field of view when you're looking down the scope. So that's kind of trash, but it's entry-level stuff, so it's not gonna be the nicest, because you gotta pay good money to get good things most of the time. In conclusion, it's not that bad of a night vision monocular for like $45. It's just some entry-level stuff. None of like the good $40,000 crap, but it's a good start.